Alright, it's campground review time again, folks, and today we are at the Keesler Air Force Base Famcamp in Biloxi, Mississippi. And no, we are not at the Famcamp right now, but I want to show you the road into the Famcamp, because for those of you with larger rigs, it's kind of an adventure. So as you come off of I-10, you're going to come on Pops Ferry Road, which is this road we're on right now. You'd actually be coming from the other direction, but that doesn't really matter. What does matter is what's coming up right now, and that is Atkinson Road right here. As you can see, lots of low-hanging branches, some low-hanging power lines and stuff. Now, for the most part, these are, while low, you shouldn't have any problems. Our rig's a little over 13 feet tall. We don't really have any issues here, but it does get close. So if you come here in the summertime and they haven't cut these back recently, you may run into some issues. There are some places with some much lower lines coming up, and so it's just something to be very mindful of, especially if you are a relatively new driver, so you're not as comfortable with your rig as others may be. And I'd also, because of how tight it's going to get up here especially, I highly recommend that you do your best to come in here during daylight hours. That way you can see what's going on. Because when it's dark, there's no street lights here, so it's dark. And one thing you're going to see throughout this video, just like you see right up here on the right, is you're going to see a lot of debris on the side of the road. A hurricane just came through about a month ago, and they're still cleaning up from it. And you're going to see that at the Famcamp as well, and I'll point out some of that once we get there. So be very careful coming through here. You can make it. Big rigs make it. There's 45-foot tag axles that stay in this Famcamp. This is the only way to get into the Famcamp in a larger rig. So take solace in the fact that others have made it before you. So hopefully you can make it as well. Now, we did not stay at the Famcamp on this trip, but we tried. And Shelly, why didn't we stay at the Famcamp?
Because our site was not big enough for us, really. I mean, it was, we had a tree that was kind of overhanging our pad, so
yeah, we're going to show you that in just a second.
We would not have fit. And here, because of down trees, other sites were full, so
right. We're going to show you that in just a second. Here on the right is base housing. It is off base, as well as the Famcamp. So there's no gate to get into the Famcamp. So if you're concerned about security and you like being on a Famcamp that's actually on post, this is not the Famcamp for you. I think this is a very safe area, but I'm just putting it out there that there is no gate. I think the security forces do intermittently come through here and patrol. So we're going to be making that right-hand turn. As you can see right here on the left is a nice little walking, jogging, biking path. We're going to talk more about that in a second as well. So coming into the Famcamp right here, you can see a fence is falling down. That is hurricane damage. The two buildings right up here in front of us, the building on the left is the office. Also, in the back side of that building is the laundry facility. The building on the right is a bath and shower facility. So all the pertinent information about sites and everything else is scrolling by now. You can make reservations here by phone only.
They do have wonderful Famcamp hosts, like we just passed.
Yep.
The hosts are really wonderful here. And
here on the right, which I don't think we'll be able to get into the camera view, is a community little hangout area, Adirondack chairs and a fire pit, and a whole lot of cut wood ready for that fire.
They have a big grill there that's available for anybody's use who's here at the Famcamp.
Now, a lot of these sites, if not most, are not level. As you can see here on this Class C, He's got a few Legos holding up his front end. You get a better view on this particular class. See here, this Coachman Leprechaun, he's got quite a bit of blocks holding him up. So let's go take a look at the campsite. They try to put our 36-foot Class A motorhome in. Used to be a Site 23 here. It looks like a ramp, actually. So I don't even know how you get in there if you have a motorhome of any size. So they tried to put us into site number 34, which is right here. And as you can see, some very low-hanging branches. When I drove up in the RV, it was I was almost eye level with some of these branches sitting in the driver's seat. So that was definitely a no-go. The office had just closed as we pulled up, so there was no office staff here, and that's where we got involved with the camp host, as Shelly mentioned. Straight ahead here is the pet walk area. It is not a dog park, but it is a pet walk area. There's a fence on two sides, so that's why it's not a dog park. It's rather a dog walk. Also here in the back section is another bathhouse. I'll show you that in just a second here. So here's the other bathhouse. For residents and guests only. So something to keep in mind. If you're not a resident or a guest, don't go to the bathroom. These spots here, even though they have larger rigs in them, they're not very level either. So if you come here in a larger rig, make sure you got plenty of blocks or whatever you need to level out your RV. So once we had the failure with the Site 34, they tried to put us into another site. It's the only other site they had available, which is site number 15.
Well, there were two sites actually. That one there with the tree.
Yeah.
But that's like literally blocking.
Right.
You couldn't back into it.
So here's site 15. And yeah, we could have fit in there. But no. Not gonna be right up against that tree.
Oh, I didn't even notice that tree then.
Yep, they're still working on cleaning everything up. So with all the information that just scroll by in case you missed it, there's go back and watch. It also has information about making reservations and things like that. Good AT&T and Verizon signals here. About 3 or 4 bars for either one. They do have cable and Wi-Fi here, and I'll give Wi-Fi, I'll throw up an air quote on the Wi-Fi. How that works here is you get a Verizon MiFi jetpack. You gotta put down a deposit for it. You get a jetpack, and that's your internet access while you're here. With cable TV, they have cable boxes you must use. So you, again, put a deposit down and you get the cable box. It does work, but they only have so many of each device. So depending on when you come, you may not get one. We were told when we pulled in here that they were out because they'd already given them all out. So here's the back side or the side of the building, the office building. And there's the laundry facility. And here on the other side of that yellow tape over there is the picnic tables, Adirondack chairs, grill, community area we mentioned earlier.
Now we were told that there is a new fam camp being built, I guess, or being built, and it's going to be on the base. Now, that came directly from the person here at Keesler, who makes reservations and stuff. So the office person there. So I don't know, when that's going to happen. We didn't see anything on base that even looked like they were beginning to start something like that. So I guess there is potential that it's there. We just don't know specifics on it.
Yeah.
But that would be really nice if that did happen, because it would make it a lot easier to get in and out. And it would be nice to be on the installation.
Yeah, another thing about trying to leave the fam camp here is you have very difficult sight lines because of the security fence they have up here. So you just need to be very careful trying to pull out. If you're driving a Class A motorhome, it's a little bit easier because you're up higher and you may be able to see over the fence. So here is the city park area we're going to come into. They have disc golf, as you can see here on the left. Also here on the left, this big paved area here is a parking area, and there's a boat ramp there, so you can put out very small boats, canoes, or kayaks. And you just tool around in the rivers back here. Now up here on the other side, this huge stack of logs is a dog park. And there's also basketball courts, tennis courts, and a playground for the kids. And depending on the time of year you're here, you also have a splash pad over on the left. Now while this is off base, it's only a couple of miles from base. And it's also basically right next to the VA hospital. So that's convenient. So we didn't stay here this time because of the site they tried to give us. And in all honesty, this is not our favorite fam camp in this area. Shields RV Park, in our opinion, is much, much better on every aspect than the Keesler Famcamp. And there's a lot of people that love the Keesler Famcamp, so I want to know what if you've ever been to the Keesler Famcamp, what do you think of it? What are your positives and your negatives? We want to hear both. So we also want to hear about what's your favorite fam camp that you've stayed at. So let us know if you stayed at Keesler, and also let us know what your favorite fam camp is. And if you have any questions at all about the Keesler Famcamp, we have a link to the official Keesler Famcamp website in the description below, and we also are going to have a link to the military campgrounds.us site. We are not affiliated with military campgrounds.us, but we do love their website and use it all the time. So we have a link to the Keesler site from both of those websites, and you can either contact the Keesler Famcamp directly or just ask us a question. We'll do our best to get an answer for you. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you at our next adventure.